Not really. I had no thought of coming for any more than 5 years. And when I got here, I initially thought 2 years for sure. And then I would take an inventory. After 2 years, I realized I hadn't done anything. Nothing to me looked like it had changed. So I gave myself another 2 years. And after that, I kind of lost count. I remember when I was in ministry, or called into ministry, and ended up in Bible college, the Lord spoke to me about using me, and right at the top of the list was I had a sense that He'd bless me if I loved people. And love is a determination of the will. It's a decision that you make. We loved the people of the church immediately because we were committed to shepherding the fellowship of the church and the bride of Christ. We learned to love the city. We learned to love Victoria as we got to know it. And so it started with our association with the church, but it branched out to our association with the community. Well, to the church, I think there's an opportunity for deeper ministry. And in some churches, the pastor's treated like a visiting relative. You show up and they're thinking, who are you? Rather than being the tribal chief or being a family member. And so it takes time for a relationship to deepen and for confidence to grow. I believe the longer a pastor stays, the better he knows his people. And the better he knows his people, the better he can lead them. I found that people who feel the most comfortable with the pastor's style of ministry become the pool from which the pastor finds leadership for his church. And another advantage is greater stability in a church provides for church being open to new ideas. And longevity can produce stability. Greater stability means opportunity for effective ministry. And I've found that churches that are stable are dependable, durable, and can translate into being flexible. That is, they'll go with you because you've been tested. I'm definitely the same person, but I would say that my responsibilities haven't changed as much as my style has changed. And I think that has a lot to do because the culture has changed and the church has changed. And so the dynamic of the church demands that I answer the needs of the church. I've moved from more of a manager format to the church I came to a facilitator format. I've had to learn to trust more people as the church has expanded and grown. And that's not an easy thing to do. I think it happens, but I try not to judge because I know that these are heart-wrenching times that pushes a minister to that place. I do believe, though, that pastors should ask themselves, and need to keep asking themselves, do I have a dream for my church? No matter what the circumstances are before them and how they're feeling. Do I have a dream for my church? And do my spiritual gifts match the present needs of my position? And will they fit for years to come? It's good to have the long view. I ask myself, is my philosophy of ministry compatible with my church, and are we working smoothly together? Or can we work smoothly together? There might be a glitch in the road, and it's kind of put you off course. We do take our bumps and our bruises, but if there's a credibility that's strong enough where the people will follow you, then maybe it's better to stay at least for another month. One other thing I would ask myself is, am I willing to work hard with my church? Is my heart still in it? And if you're able to do that, I think sometimes it's better to stay than to go. You know, you never feel good about how things are going because we've never arrived. We're always in process. That's the nature of ministry. But it's interesting, seeing we're talking about tenure and longevity, I think it becomes easier to some degree in a pastor's life where he isn't constantly having to prove himself, where you have a sense where people are moving with you, they're trusting you, and they're more settled as a congregation because they're believing, based on where you have come, that there's even better days ahead. So you never want to be comfortable. You want a healthy discomfort, but you don't want to be struggling with petty problems all the time that run interference with the broad vision and mission of the church. Well, there's so much more to do. We haven't won the whole city of Victoria yet. And that should be our vision, that we reach every home. That's, God's planted us here in the heart of the city. We believe that it's a strategic place that He's put us, and we have a responsibility to the city. And as long as there is a spiritual need here, then we've got a mission in front of us.